Evil in this world, I sit back like why bother? But get a different view every time that I call a dollar. It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gon' get that. But it's cool, let's sit back and chit chat. Unveiled mindset.
You gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough,
you will surely be unveiled.
What's poppin'? What's did it? Welcome to the Unveiled Mindset podcast, hosted by me, King Hemeti, aka Dr. Conde, and my lovely aka Boogie wife.
Shut up. Hey guys, welcome. Like he mentioned, welcome to Unveiled Mindset, where we have enlightening, purposeful conversation that help to nurture growth and unveil the mind. Yep. Make sure you guys subscribe to everything down below. Will be in the description. So you can see us on Instagram, TikTok, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everything will be in the description below. Yep.
So today we're going to have a great show. We got two wonderful guests here today. Two of my closest friends. One, my big sister, a.k.a. Big Brother. You know how that goes. We got the lovely Aicha, Cisse, Miss Beautiful.
Hello,
you know what I'm saying?
Hello.
Looking as good as you want to look. Yes, sir. And then we got my boy Mo. You feel me? Cunny's husband. I'm playing with him, bro. Yeah, what's poppin'? That's my boy Mo Conde and Aicha Cisse. So today we're going to give you guys a wonderful show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Get ready.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
We are super excited for them to join us. If you guys have not seen their interview, make sure you stop this video and go check it out.
Fire.
Get to know who they are individually.
Fire.
And we'll put all of their socials down below as well in their interview videos so that you guys can stay tuned into them. But they're very close to us. Aicha was in our wedding. Mo was almost in our wedding. If you want to know why it's an almost, go check out his interview.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. He still got to explain to me why he didn't come.
It's been explained. Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. How are you guys? How are you guys doing? How are you guys? They're our fellow Guinean Americans. So what are you guys excited about in this 2024?
Honestly, I'm just trying to get more money. Like there's nothing else. I just I feel like this is the year of saving and just making new things happen. One of my biggest goals this year is to open a virtual clinic. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I am. I'm saving and just trying to figure that whole process out. And it's a long process, but I'm gonna get there.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
what
for me,
you?
just 20. You guys already know. I became a father this year, so 2024.
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, Lo Mbappe.
Learning to be a father and stuff, and just building a family and stuff like that. So, getting closer to God and all the above. So
that's exciting.
That's great.
So all right, I think in today's discussion, what's our topic for today? Let us know.
I'm gonna let you and Aicha do the honor because me and Mo, we're gonna be very combative today. So I'm gonna let you guys get into it.
We're talking about mental health therapy and all things mental health, right? Okay. And as it relates to the culture, right? As it relates to, like I said, go check out the episode, but a little preview. Aicha is in the mental health space, so she is a therapist. And so we want to talk about, do you guys think that mental health, the way that it's been exposed here, as in the way that it's gained a lot of traction here, do you think that a lot of African countries, or even let's be more specific, in Guinea, it's starting to also gain traffic, or are we very far behind?
Honestly speaking, I think we're very far behind. I think there's so much tradition and just so much of it is pray about it, right? Which, I love the idea of praying about stuff, but a lot of it could be helped in other ways. Mm-hmm. I think culturally we're very far from understanding mental health. Mm-hmm. And I think the system in Guinea in general, I think we need a lot of push in our government, and the stability of it alone matters when it comes to mental health.
Okay, first, before we move on, what is the definition of mental health? Yeah. Let's actually get the definition here. But what does mental health mean to each and every one of you guys?
I could give you the.
What does it mean before you read the definition? Okay. What does mental health mean to you, and the importance of it?
Me, in terms of mental health. I got adjusted to it like here, and I got to know more about mental health when I came to the state. Because back home we don't really talk about it, right? We don't really know what mental health is.
Yeah.
You know, we just say, oh, somebody's crazy or whatever. Then we would just make up like, oh, somebody probably put juju on them or just like whatever. And here, you know, and they're like, okay, if you see somebody acting very erratic, they would tell you that, you know, okay, the person is going through some mental issues, right? You know, maybe they have schizophrenia or dementia, whatever the case may be. And so to me, that's what mental health is. You know, somebody that's not completely there, fully, you know, mentally, right? To me, that's what it is.
Yeah. For me, like me and Dada talk about this a lot. Like I always say, like I still haven't like fully like grasp on it, like because like, you know, like where we like, you know.
Yeah, we don't know much about it.
It's like, okay, like I always, you know, me and Dada go back at it. I always said that, like, okay, like somebody got possessed by a jinn, or like, you know, like, you know, they crazy in the head. But,
like a religious viewpoint.
I wouldn't know anything about mental health if I didn't come to this country. Like I wouldn't.
Like a spiritual being took control of somebody's body and they have no control of, you know, their mind or whatever. That's how we looked at it back home.
Yeah,
like a negative spirit, right? Okay.
And at that point, it's not even the person's mental health, right? At that point, it's kind of like, this is what has taken over the person's body, and you know, you need to pray about it, like what you said, and you need to kind of do all these different things in order to be able to free the person from this possession.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what does mental health mean for you?
So when I talk about mental health, and then when I think about mental health, I think for people in general, a lot of people think it's just the diagnosed part of it, you know, the schizophrenia, the bipolar, you know, all these different things. But mental health also has a lot to do with you finding peace with yourself and all the things that, you know, you may have made mistakes in life doing. And you just, those demons that chase you, right? And people have to understand it's not just diagnosis, right? These illnesses that the doctors can tell us, but there's certain things like finding out who you are in life. You can go through a lot just trying to figure that out, right? A lot of us grew up here, but we also have that culture mindset, right? So we kind of grew up in two different worlds, even though we grew up in the States. In the house, you African. None of that American stuff is coming in here. But outside, you have to like change around and you American, like code switch kind of. So like with that, that's like finding identity and finding balance in that alone. That's a mental health problem because you might have a crisis and you don't know who you are. And then whoever you meet, you got to act like that person because you don't know who you are. So to me, it's not just the illnesses and the diagnosis we can give you, but it's that finding peace. Are you stable? Right? Emotionally, mentally, are you stable? Because if you're not emotionally and mentally stable, you're not physically going to be okay either.
Okay, so can you say there's a level of like how bad mental illness is? Like, is there a level? Like, is there, like, for example, like schizophrenia? Like, I don't know much about it, right? But I believe it's like when somebody's like seeing things, right? That's not necessarily there or whatever. And dementia is like when they usually forget or whatever, don't remember. Okay, so what I'm saying, like you saying that it's to find peace.
So yeah, that's kind of part of the diagnosis. You know, it's that visual and auditory hallucination that some people experience, and some people may be experiencing a lot more than others. And then there's levels to it where some people may be, you know, still, you know, attached to reality, which means that they can tell the difference between what's real and what's not real. And some people may not be attached to reality, which means that everything is their reality. You know what I mean? So they don't know this person is not a monster, or they might hear God talking to them to tell them to do X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case is. So
okay, and so because we're all from Guinea, we're all from you know from.
Yeah, before you even get into that, I got a quick question, right? Yeah. Not to cut you off, but what triggers like mental illness, whether it's depression? What's like the main cause? Like, what's one thing that everybody like can like, you know, in as far as your world, like the field that you're in, like what's the main thing that triggers like people to like, you know, get mental like depression or mental issues or whatever, mental illness?
So what triggers, what I know is that what triggers most people is trauma, right? That childhood trauma, that going through whatever you went through and you getting stuck in that phase, right? And then you don't have those parents to talk to, or that especially in the Black community, right? We didn't grow up in a space where therapy was even like a thing for us.
That you even talk about.
You assume you was crazy if you go to therapy, right?
Yeah. Or there like you had issues.
You know what I mean? You had issues, and until now, like the stigma has been removed, but it's still kind of still there because there's a lot of education needed in the Black community, right? It don't even matter which part of Black, whether you African, whether you Haitian, whether you Black American, whatever the case is. Like there's such a stigma that you are not okay. But it can be the most basic thing is I'm just trying to figure out who I am.
So like a lifestyle, basically, you know, physical, the same thing you have like your physical health, you have your mental health, you go to the gym, you work out and you eat the right stuff. Same thing with your mind, you reflect and you really try to be in tune and make sure you're operating at your optimal level as an adult.
And I don't know how far you can go back, but I was like, you know, wanted to ask this question. So like now in the present day 2023, like people are big on therapy and, you know, and mental illness and stuff like that. It's taken very seriously. So what I'm saying, like back then, let's say before like technology was prevalent and all of that, like how did people deal with mental, like, you know, mental illness? And was that even a thing? Like did people even talk about it?
Right.
Like were people just walking around like depressed and nobody know? Like,
so I would say, like, let's say when I was in middle school, which was back in like the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people just ignored it and act like it didn't exist. And with foreign families, pray about it, right? And I noticed that in the Black families and the Hispanic families too, it's pray about it, right? Even to now, I feel like the Black families are actually opening up more, with Hispanic families are still kind of stuck and they're struggling with it. And then also like in the Haitian community, it's a lot of pray about it as well. But back then, you either pray about it, you ignore it. You know, sometimes your parents will tell you you're lazy, come to find out you're really depressed. Right? Those moments that you just don't want to do nothing, the things you love to do as a kid, you're not trying to do it anymore. And it's not you grew out of it. Sometimes it's just that lack of motivation and it starts to go downhill as life gets crazier.
That's what I wanted to say. Like everything that Aisha just mentioned, like earlier I said that it would be really hard to incorporate these like type of stuff in our culture because like saying that like laziness, like laying around eating, all those stuff is like depression. They could be looked at in our culture as laziness. It's like, you know, like, you know, you talk about like, you luma, like you laying in the house, you're not doing nothing. And they say you lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like but you can mentally be going through stuff.
Through things, And because it's survival. Like everyone is trying to eat, right? Like people are focusing on when am I going to get my next meal? So if I'm focusing on when am I going to get my next meal, the roof over my head, what time or privilege do you really have to think about anything else, you know?
Well, we know like now these days like mental illness is treated with like, you know, medication. So what are some of the side effects, and does everybody take the same medication, or it all depends on the person?
So like all the side effects depend on the person, like and already your health problems that you might already have. Like some people might have heart conditions and they can't take certain medications because it might give you high blood pressure or whatever the case is, right? So like it just depends on who you are and what your conditions are already, and everybody is literally different. Like the same way y'all can take Motrin, I can't take Motrin. It gives me like really bad side effects, right? But the typical person, my parents be
just take
all the time, and I'd be like, yo, y'all gotta chill, right? And everyone don't take the same medication. There's again different things for different people, so it just depends on who you are. The problem is people assume the medication works right away, and when they don't see an impact within the first week or two, they're just like, oh, it doesn't work. But typically a lot of these psych medications take 6 to 8 weeks to kick in. So you might have a little happy mood right now. It might give you that little up boost, but it didn't really do what it's supposed to do. And if you're all of a sudden stop taking it, that's not how it goes. And some people feel better and they be like, oh, I'm good, I'm cured. There's a lot of these things, there's no I'm cured.
It comes back, right?
You know what I'm saying? There's no I'm cured. It's forever. And the medication is forever, right? But the idea is, do you want to be at your best self? Or do you want to be in a space where like you're not taking the medication because whatever you feel, right? And you just kind of just trying to exist,
right?
Because you're not really living, you just here.
And also like the treatment, right? Like there's different type of treatment, right?
For everything.
Like medication and also like physically going to talk to like a therapist and stuff like that.
Yeah. And again, I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else, find a therapist that you connect with. It matters. It really, really matters. And it can make a huge difference in your life where you can be going to therapy and it don't work for you, and the next person that you work with can pretty much be that person that's gonna that something is going to click in you and it's going to be a life changer.
So you saying basically like you need to find a therapist that you can connect with.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense.
It's important. Yeah. It's so important.
So you had a question about.
Yeah. So, okay. I wanted to take it back to the continent and back to specifically the country
Guinea.
that we're from in Guinea. So in terms of when it comes to mental health, it's something that's not widespread there, as we've mentioned, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what are some, you've lived there until you were 11 or so, right? 13.
Yeah.
You've been there plenty of times. You recently just got back from visiting there. You lived there as well. And so what are some stories that you've heard or maybe even experienced, like people that you've met, right? Or encountered that society, from a society standpoint, they thought it was something wrong with them, whether it's spiritually or whatever the case may be. Whereas like you feel like may have been a misdiagnosis and it's probably something that's like mental ill related, but because we're not that advanced there, we may think it's something else.
So I had a conversation with my mom recently, and even when I went there, we were talking about there's a woman in Cisse, and she has auditory and visual hallucinations. So meaning that she hears stuff and she sees stuff that nobody else sees. So a little context of this woman, she's I think she's in her late 40s, 50s, early 50s. And she wasn't born blind, but she became blind later on in her life because of sickness. And, but whenever you give her food, she sees maggots. Right? Whenever you're going to do certain things with her, she's seeing these things that nobody else sees.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of the time she won't eat.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of the time she won't interact, or she's screaming because she's seeing these things that no one else is experiencing.
Okay.
So my mom knows about mental health because, we were here for years, right?
Yeah.
So she's like asking me, what do I think it is? And I'm like, well, it sounds like it's schizophrenia, some level of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Because when you can't see, not even when you can't see, but when you're hearing things and you're seeing things that no one else is hearing or experiencing with you, it's typically in that domain, right? And we don't have the medication for that in Guinea, right? Not that I know of. We've looked for it, but it's not there. I told my mom, go look for it. This is what they may have in some parts of Guinea. I used to work with a Nigerian doctor, and she has a clinic in Nigeria. So what she used to do is go to Ghana and grab the medication from Ghana.
Oh, because they have it in Ghana.
Yes. So I told her the only thing she can do is probably, because we have a cousin that lives in Ghana, tell her to get it, because you don't actually need certain things to buy medication in Ghana. As long as you got the money, you should be good. Whereas the U.S., we can't just be like, okay, we need to buy this and send it off. First of all, the farm market here is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's expensive.
It's so expensive. So, but to them, the community, she's cursed. She's vaxxed. It's a jinn. It's all these things. But to me, it's just like, dang, like she just needs her medication.
And look, what do you think? Right? Like I'm this one part. One of the biggest thing is these diagnoses. Like it's so deep into our culture, right? When it happen, they don't even take you to the hospital. They will take you to the Karamogo, like a spiritual healer, because they like when people start like hallucinating, like their eye color start changing.
Eye color start changing.
No, it's like you see the white side, like the black. You see
like your eyes go back sometimes, and that. It's a
for those when people come and grab them for those diagnoses, they don't take them to the hospital. They take him to the Karamogo,
or the mosque or something like that, right?
That's so deep in, because they automatically say she's being possessed.
But think about this, right? You are having, let's say, a manic episode, right? And it's a bad, crazy episode. And they take you to the Karamogo, the witch doctors, right? As Americans,
the healer.
The healer,
well, technically,
it's not a witch doctor; it's a healer. Witch doctor would be like
negative, like
whatever the case. Okay, Right. I'm sorry. The healers, right?
Like a voodoo doctor.
Yeah.
Like,
because these person are supposed to use like
it's a spiritual
right?
healer.
Use
So
like
let's say the
God and
spiritual
stuff,
healers,
like the religion.
They even use
Yeah.
that stuff. They even use Quran. Like these spiritual healers, they
Use Quran.
They use Quran to like.
Yeah.
We gotta touch more base on that. I have some questions for you.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's say you take this person to a spiritual healer. They're having an episode right now. You're touching them and all that stuff. They might just be having a panic attack in front of you and their eyes are rolling back. They're hyperventilating. All this stuff is happening to them because it happens. It happens to basic people having panic attacks. Like, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
A lot of times you cannot catch your breath. So imagine I can't breathe and y'all all touching me.
What causes panic
I have
attack?
a story, right?
Different.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I have a story. It's so deep.
Yeah. What's
like-
the story?
Bro, if I'm gonna get up from here, let
Wait,
me know.
no,
right
hold on,
now.
hold on.
I want to hear
'Cause
it.
you know how y'all be scared.
It's so
Yes.
deep, right?
Right.
There was go ahead.
Because right before you tell your story, what I was gonna say too is like, how do we know that 100% of these things that are happening there is a mental illness diagnosis?
They're about to make me walk out of
Because
this.
we haven't but go ahead.
So
Go
this
ahead.
is- yeah,
So
go
the
ahead.
story, right? It's so deep. This is so like Gina, like Jim.
Yeah.
It's so deep into our culture, like Manakamuris, right?
Yeah.
There was a girl and she's whatever, like it says she possessed.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, so because like one of the triggers are like they will run and go to the river, like the Milo River, whatever.
Yeah.
And one day, like you gotta grab them before they get there, because
Yeah.
if they go in the water, like they would say that like the jin's calling them, like right.
Yeah.
So she would even scream her name. It's like it's calling me, right?
Yeah.
So they will bring her to the room, like and like the T-bone with the kramago, like the hut, like.
Like a hut. Yeah.
I swear to God, like it be so deep that like you would hear people saying that like I can hear him, like they can hear the jinn speaking, like he can speak, like
the healer can hear the jinn speaking.
Yeah, like certain people in the room also can hear him.
Oh, other people that are there.
Yeah.
Also can hear the jinn.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Like their presence.
As we were saying, all these like to me, like now, like being exposed to the different culture, I would say that all those are hallucination.
Yeah.
So does that mean, so how is it that everyone that just then came to support this one person, that nothing else was wrong with them before, right? If they all came to support the one person and then now all of them are saying that they're hearing something during this particular situation.
Yeah.
Like, how
Are they
is
all
that,
hallucinating?
How is that
But you can
explained?
have mass hysteria, right?
what
Where
is
like,
I ain't gonna lie.
like I'm coughing, right, and I'm sick, and then this person gets sick. All you got to do is coughing for us to look at you like, wait a minute, you
Yeah.
might be sick too.
You might
And then
be
this
sick.
person coughing, them like, wait a minute, you
Wait.
sick too?
But hallucination?
But they're probably not. It's probably the energy of being in a space,
With
and
her
some
or
people
with
just
them?
catch, not her, everybody else.
Everybody
Space.
around.
They
Oh,
probably
okay.
just in that space, in that moment, spiritually, they just like caught on.
Yeah.
Bro, because
So
I ain't gonna lie,
okay.
like the girl, like you can see marks on her body. They would
Okay,
say that the person-
wait. Hold on then. Okay, so
Wait.
if things are appearing on her
Yeah, but I
body,
don't think that-
Wow, I'm a
what does that mean?
It mean that she probably wouldn't hurt herself.
No. If
it's like-
if you're seeing it
she
appear,
running like a central mark, like you can see like
Or like a belt, mark, or like somebody been whooping her.
like if you're looking at his hand right here, and then a belt mark just appeared on his body right then and
No,
there.
wait. You're saying that when they you was trying to heal her, when they like
no,
remove her
like
clothes,
when she's like whatever they possess, because this how the triggers are. They would tell
Yeah.
women, like girls in Africa, especially like in Kankan, they would tell you don't go to the river, like get naked.
Yeah.
Because
The jinn
basically
would
when the
probably
jinn
call-
say that they attract that.
Yeah.
And then they would like kind of like
yeah.
pay attention to you and
Yeah.
follow you slowly all the way until they can possess you or whatever.
I get what you're saying. I know the story now. Back to the mark. How did the mark?
The
News was
mark,
asking,
so when it happened, she like kind of took her clothes, like run.
and they saw the mark.
Yeah, people,
Okay.
you would see the mark on her body. It's
Okay.
like him, like whatever, beating
Like-
her.
Oh,
That sounds like domestic violence,
Hold
but
on. The
Yeah.
mark. Wait. My question is, did the mark? Because I think where you're going with it is maybe like if someone saw the mark afterwards, so maybe she
Not after her,
self-inflicted.
yeah.
But
people
did
say this
you
shit
saw the mark appear?
appeared during
During-
like,
Okay,
as
so
he-
yeah,
that's what the story said.
I don't know
right?
what the
That's what the
explanation.
story
Okay, that's what the thing is, right?
So that can't really be. Can that really be hallucination?
Okay.
Like everything that's happening, can that be that?
The thing is, the people that said that, I don't believe those people.
Were you there, Mo?
So you don't believe me?
Mo was there.
No,
Mo saw it.
no, wait.
Mo saw it. Did you hear it
You
too?
don't believe me?
No, wait.
You
Let me
heard
ask the question.
You heard the noise
I was
too?
there.
Wait,
Bro, move from here.
No.
Side.
wait.
No, this is go
So
ahead.
what I'm saying, right? The story you're telling us right now, you were present
Yes.
during that story, or did somebody tell you?
I was present.
Okay, did you saw the mark appear? How old were you?
No, it's not about.
No, hold up.
Probably like 11, 12.
Okay,
Huh?
no.
11, 12.
That's
Okay, do you believe in that? Those that
At
you
that
saw
time,
that?
At that time, like I said, at that time, yes, of course, because that's what I'm exposed to.
Because that's what he just saw.
So if the mark is just appearing on her body, what is that then? That's not.
And that's the question. I think from him, he's saying that now that he's here in this country, right? And he's learning about like in a different culture, learning about mental health, learning about all these different things that can scientifically be explained.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like, yo,
what
was that?
I was hallucinating. All the mark could be like everybody was in that shape, form, like seeing stuff that wasn't physically there.
I call
you get what
cat.
I'm saying?
No, but it's not. If you see what you see, that's what just what you see.
I saw a lot of stuff when I was 12 and 11.
I be tough, bro. So what you saw? You saw anything?
I saw a lot of. Listen, I saw a lot of stuff. I told you the story, right? Since it's story time, let's get into it.
Not the money one.
No, not the money one.
Yeah, don't tell the
Yo,
money. That's
but you know, like albinos in Africa, like they look at them as like curse, right? So where we lived, right across from our house, there was a lady that was standing. Her name was Mami or whatever, and her daughter's name was Olande, right? She was an albino. I told you the story. We were playing soccer outside one day, right? And then, like, my cousin was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, they said
Meaning like she's changing form, like she's shape shifting, right? Like I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, look. He said, Olande, like the albino girl, right? So I look, I'm like, you don't see it? She just left her body and came back and said, I was 11 and 12, right? So I was like, look, he said, don't look her in her eyes. So he said, don't look her in her eyes. Yeah. So I was like, so I looked down. He's like, you see? So like Aisha was talking about, right? It's like if you're in that moment, you probably think you're seeing that.
Did you see it?
So when she said, I was like, she's like, yeah, everybody say they see it. I was like, yeah, I see it too. Yeah, right?
But you was lying. You really
I
didn't
don't
see
know. Listen, what I'm saying, right? I really believe that at the moment.
You believe
right?
that
I believe that
see
she. So whenever I see her walking, if I'm by myself, I'm going the other way around. When I look down,
I think that's different
look,
because your
I'm
friend
tell
made you see that.
Listen, what I'm saying, right? Everybody was saying that. There's nothing you could have. Any of y'all could have told.
Yeah,
like, so he said, don't look her in the eyes, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I don't want to get possessed or whatever. So I look down. He said, did you see that? I think I saw something. So I believe it that I saw something, right? That she was shape shifting. I'm like, all right, that's the story. So what I'm saying, right?
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe in Jen?
No, I don't.
So
I don't.
this room is getting.
I don't. But this is
Okay,
therapy and spirituality. I don't believe
what
it.
he's not saying. He's saying he doesn't. It's not like he's saying. Even when he remembers it, he's saying he saw the marks come on her body.
I call
so
cat.
the thing is, but like everyone has like different experiences. So
no, that's true,
here's the thing: it could have been something that is scientifically explained. It could have been some sort of allergic reaction that came on her body, but he saw it. So the fact that he saw it,
plus there's a lot of
muscle spasm. So the fact that he saw it,
when you're having panic attacks, you can have like your body can really react.
There's a lot of other stuff like these people, right, bro? It's a girl, like a small girl, right? And when when it happened, right, it would take like big 6 guys to like restrain her.
Yeah,
like, she would be like physically strong.
When people go through episodes, like, Aisha, you probably know.
When you go through episodes and stuff like. What you saying?
No, not you make her, like I'm saying. No, what I'm saying because that's her field. That's her field. Like she knows. That's her field.
Right. So like when people go through their episodes and stuff like that, that adrenaline will take you to another level that.
I'm sorry.
Will take you to another level that you didn't know this person was that strong.
Exactly.
Like, think about it. I worked in group homes before, like anything, right? When I was in my early 20s, I worked in group. Not even like. 18 to like 23. I worked in group homes and stuff like that. And we had a case where one person lost it. Like he had an episode and he walked through the door.
Crazy.
He what?
He walked through the door.
In.
No. He walked through the door.
Wait.
You know what they tell you when that
like rip?
He walked through the door.
Wait, he ripped the door off the hinges?
Walked through it. Like
he walked I got it's so scary. They tell
I be feeling like that man when I walk through.
They tell you to cross the street and call the cops and don't interact.
Yeah,
wait, hold on. It was a wooden door that he walked through and got to the other side and continued?
It is a guy.
That's RoboCop.
Yeah.
So like everything just.
Nah, these girls be strong too.
Wait,
really strong.
All right,
but that's the thing. Like when it comes to mental health, that adrenaline, we do become something else.
Yeah,
because
of
our adrenaline science really is a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to think about that. Like our bodies do certain things
Can Jen
when
be science
we I'm really gonna fight. I'm gonna fight Mo.
Nah, Mo
No.
trying to get
Here's the question though.
saying.
Okay, so the question that I have, Aisha. So, you know how? So what I said before in that, like we, you know, in these crazy different things that happen in these different villages and cities and stuff like that, right? In these different countries, do you feel like, okay, do you feel like, for example, if you sign up to go on a month-long missionary to go through each village and
will not be going.
do some sort of like mental health treatment to assess, you know, and diagnose
Will
different
not be
people,
going.
do you feel like 100% of the patients there will be because of a mental health issue, or do you feel like there's a possibility that they could be something else?
like jinn, spiritual.
I'm gonna say what I've experienced. I have never experienced anything that cannot be explained.
Okay.
Right, and everything that I have encountered, there was some type of medication for it. Right, whether it's to suppress it, to do whatever, there was some type of medication to help the person do better in life and become an able body, right, and live. Even if it's a almost better life, it's better than where they were at.
Yeah.
Right, and this is not to say those people that may be allergic or it might be too heavy, they're sluggish, and they can't, process what's going on. This is to say the medication is actually for this person, and it works for them. Right, we talk about depression.
Yeah.
People go through these things where they can't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
And they don't really know why.
So, okay. So Mo. So like, well, I should say that medication can treat. She look at things. She look at mental illness like when these like the story you're talking about, like the story I'm talking about, or whatever. Like people back home going through all of these like crazy episode, and we call it jinn and whatever. You really believe in that, right? You really believe that they were possessed, right? And she's saying that. The opposite, like she feel like it's mental illness and it can be treated with medication or medicine or whatever, right?
Based on her experience.
Based on her experience,
not based on her going to these villages and actually like.
I believe in it for two reasons.
But wait, the reason why I'm saying that because she's in that field, and then we all scientifically has been proven that these certain medication can help certain causes, right? So what I'm saying, like, for you, is just stories that we have heard or probably seen, right? When we were younger. Now we're grown 18 years later, right? Do you still believe the same thing? Do you believe those people were possessed? And do you believe that is a jinn thing, not a mental illness?
Or both, right?
I'm going to tell you,
both.
I like I said before, like being exposed to like the different life in America, obviously like I have two different perspectives, but I still believe in jinn for like two reasons. I still believe in that side because I've seen it physically. Like I've seen stuff like that physically. And also... Listen, I don't know what. Yeah, and also, like this is my like number one reason why I believe in them, right?
Yeah.
Because jinns are mentioned in the Quran, so like I believe that they exist, and I believe that they can take over people's
body.
Yep.
Okay.
Then
so
we live in a spiritual world, and like all
so this is it's a lot of stuff
I gotta
that
go do Ayatul Kursi after
man.
And with the faith, good is
So
good.
It's a lot of stuff to unpack. Like there's like mental illness. Jinn, spirituality, that he's saying this in the Quran, that also tap in with religion and culture. It's a lot of things, right? So now we have to unpack it little by little. So here, like, what is the concession? I can't speak today. What's the word?
What's the like
general
concession?
Concessions.
Concession.
She can't speak either.
Not a concession stand.
What's the word?
What is a concession?
This is ESL.
Right,
she was talking about ESL.
We all went to ESL.
So me, I was playing around to get her to mess up. Right?
No, you were.
Man, she
I came here I came here in '94, and I
so what's the word? General
concession.
Concession.
No.
Concession.
General consensus.
Consensus.
Yo.
Census, like the census. Consensus.
He said concussion.
Listen. I'm not gonna lie, bro. We're all good.
I can't say it.
I'm not gonna lie. We're all going through some type of mental illness. God forgive us. Okay, Lord, let's pray together.
I can't say that now.
In conclusion,
it happened. We all speak like 3-4 languages.
Yeah.
So like.
Okay, so what is the general consensus?
Right? Consensus,
yes.
right?
Consensus.
General consensus.
Teamwork.
So Aicha, okay, we know what Mo's saying, right? Mo's saying that
he said both.
Okay, both, right?
Yes.
Me, I said I'm more with like the mental illness. What about you?
I'd say both.
Aicha.
Mental illness.
Okay, so it's 50-50, right? Okay,
And
now
let
let's
me
unpack
explain my reason. Okay, so for me, I feel like I mean, there's so many things that happen in this world that like I don't know, right? And I'm not in that field either. So like I haven't even like experienced like someone having a traumatic like event, like episode or anything like that, you know? So for me, I definitely think that a lot of it, maybe the majority of it, is definitely something that's that can be explained through a diagnosis, and can be corrected or, you know, aided by medicine. Yeah. However, in like these other places, like these are territories that I don't know. Unfamiliar territories to me. I've never grown up in the village. I've never been to the village, right? So I don't know like outside of my own current environment, right? I only know what I've seen mainly here or like in the cities that I've lived in Africa. So because it's like territory that's unfamiliar to me, I don't want to go and be like, what you guys all believe is fake. And here's this medicine that's gonna, you know, like work for 100% of you guys, because I don't know. The same way that like someone can be having like a certain type of pain, right? Their pain can be derived from certain things, but yet they have pain. They can take Advil. The Advil will help their pain. But that doesn't mean that like their pain coming from one source versus another source is fake. It's just now the pain is gone. Is the way that I kind of see it. The medicine can still work probably on certain things, but like maybe it's things that the source or why you believe it, that you're seeing it is real, but the medicine is helping you like get, you know, not see it. I just don't know. It's territory that I don't know. I haven't seen anything. I haven't met anyone. Nor do I want to see anything or meet anyone or figure out for sure or know for sure, like what you said. I don't want it to be confirmed, you know,
at all.
That medication part, that's there too. Like, okay, like for example, like I say, right, you know how Aicha say like they will diagnose it as a mental illness and then they will go through a different type of treatment. They give people medication. This is the same process that we go through in Africa too, but different way. Like they will find like the spiritual healer and he will diagnose it as whatever, like the possessed by jinn, and they have natural herbs that they can find. Like he will actually like, you know how like we have like ordinance. How do you say ordinance in English? Like prescription. Yeah. So you know how they have prescription. He actually prescribed this type of medication. They got named for like natural herb medications in Africa. So he would say, get this. You would get this, like boil up like this. Made a person say around it, like pull, like, you know,
like
does it help?
Like wushu fanaro.
Yeah. Does it help?
Yes, and then people heal from that. So like from my perspective, growing up there, or her perspective, growing up here, seeing people going through like actual medication that science have provided, and me seeing these spiritual healers like provide medications that's, you know, because like also like it's said that like every sickness in this on the planet, there's a cure for it. An
herb or a cure.
Yeah, can be healed.
It can be healed.
Okay.
So having these spiritual healers prescribe these like, you know, natural herb and people getting better. So automatically, like me being exposed to that, I would say that like, okay, these are the diagnoses. I believe in the diagnosis, and then these are you have to do. These are the step you have to take in order to be healed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it could be both ways. That's why I said that like I believe in both ways, because coming here, then I seen this other part, then I can also say that also can happen. Yeah. Because I've seen people be treated like just like here, like they will give people prescription, and then like they will go through that, and their sickness will still not go away, like they will still not be healed. Yeah. Or other ways where it could be healed. So like seeing it in both, like I can say I believe.
Okay, so my question for that is the herb or the spiritual healer.
Before we go to the herb, I think she was gonna say something about
the herbs and stuff like that. Okay. I was gonna say like, is that not still science then?
No,
because it's still medicine, like the same way medicine is created and then it's passed down through whatever.
It is science.
Right? It is.
Herbs and stuff like that, those are
holistic science or whatever,
right? And that's still part of medicine. Holistically, we have the whole department here, right? I feel like that's still part of science and medicine because you're putting different things together, right, to help something out. So scientifically, if you look at those things, it may be a different, whether it's a hormone missing in this person's body, whether it's whatever it is, that
an imbalance.
You get what I'm saying? That herb is filling that in. So would it still be medicine? Even though it's holistic, it would it still be medicine?
Yeah. But the diagnoses are different. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it may be different wording, may be different because of
Probably
the
the
culture
same,
and stuff
yeah.
like that, but it's probably literally the same thing.
same, right.
But they just have different things to take care of it. You know what I mean? But they're
So-
both technically they're medication.
Yeah,
Either way
I
you
agree
go.
with that.
yeah.
So based on your experience with these like spiritual healers and herb medicine or whatever,
Experience with these spiritual healers.
did you see those spiritual healers heal anybody?
Yes.
Tell us the story.
Okay. Okay, so you know how like
Stay closer.
during birth in Africa, there's a lot. I have friends that like
Mhm.
they couldn't walk. Like the time passed, they couldn't walk.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I don't think they will take them to the spiritual healer. They will make something to put it around their waist.
Like
even-
when you say they can walk, like handicapped, like
yeah,
oh they got
they
injured.
were
Born.
born like that.
Like
So,
Sunjata.
you know, yeah, like
Okay.
the story of Sunjata is the same.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's like for us, like in Africa, everything's like prehistoric. Like we inherit like those culture, like, and they still there to this day. If you go to village, you see a lot of people. Like there's a lot of villages in Africa. There's no hospital. So how do people function? You get what I'm saying?
But how long do those people live in those like how long do they? Because we can look at the
People still there.
No, I'm just saying like somebody like you saying
Like
people,
life
people still live there.
expectancy?
Yeah.
People still what's the life expectancy for
No,
people
like
that's
people in the
living
village be living for long, like
Okay.
hundreds of years. Like people in the village.
Also, what they eat too is a
Yes,
lot more.
exactly.
I mean, when I like
Yeah.
when we looked at it,
Probably.
like when I looked at it, like the numbers, right? Like in Guinea, I believe it was like we were one of the lowest, even in Africa,
Yeah.
in terms of like life expectancy. Like I think Guinea for like for the woman, I think it was like 68. For the men, it was like 60.
But that I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
if we go to a village, then I'll take you like Masanta, I'll take
Yeah.
you to a village.
Yeah.
You will see so many people that's above 100, like 100.
No,
You
I
will see
believe it.
people
But
like
in
that.
general,
And
do
they
you
still-
think?
In
in the
general,
village?
obviously, like you know, when they do those type of like tests, obviously, in general,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's lower. But me, like the thing I don't
because are they testing? Are they these stats? Are they going to the villages and like actually getting information, data points from these people in the
Nah, I
stats,
think it's-
or is it
yeah.
like the cities?
the
You
city?
know what I'm
I think
saying?
these data are from the cities.
So
Like
And then-
basically Conakry,
mhm.
like these.
Also, if we think about it, when you're in like let's say Conakry, there's so much pollution in Conakry alone.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that they don't have that type of
pollution in
the
a village.
In the village,
So,
yeah.
like,
That could be it
they-
too.
The life,
That's true.
The life is
That's
so much
true.
healthier
In the
in
village,
the village than
yeah.
it is in Conakry. You guys know I just came.
Even when we used to go to village,
Bring
like
it
I
more
feel
closer.
good, like the air in the village. Like even when we used to go in the village, I feel like I'm like like my mind's at ease. Like I'm like
Your mind,
in a
clear
space
mind,
where like clear
good
mind,
energy,
yeah,
good vibe. So
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, okay, well, I just said right, like Conakry is the city is polluted, but in the village is more cleaner, right? It's it's less polluted. So, but why, like when somebody gets sick, because most of those villages they don't have like hospitals or even if they do, it's probably one hospital. They don't have
Yeah.
all the equipments. So when they do get sick, where do they go? They go to the city to go get healed. Because I'm pretty sure if they don't have the money first, right?
yeah, same moment.
So if they do get sick, the first thing they do, they probably go to a spiritual healer in that community. And if that don't work, they go to the city to go get healed, right? So, like, I don't know the number exactly. When those people leave the village and go to the city, do they come back better?
I think it depends, because if you ask me personally, I would say that like what from my experience, like spiritual healers have healed more people in my experience than the hospitals in Africa.
Okay.
Like in where I grew up.
Okay. So, go ahead.
I
Aisha.
think to that question, I think it kind of makes me think that the spiritual healers are there for mental health. And then when it comes to your physical health, that's when the hospitals
That's
are
a good
there.
point.
Because
a
that's
good
kind
point,
of what it seems. Because
Yeah.
everything you've explained, and I said it's mental health, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like what they're doing is just creating herbs and all these other things that's helping and catering to these mental health problems that people are having.
Okay.
But they can't heal you if it's actually physical health.
Yeah.
Where you got to go
Wait.
to the hospital and get a surgery
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I said that before.
He
yeah,
had something about. He mentioned something about you've explained a story about someone who had I don't know, he broke his foot or he
Yeah,
had
I was about to say that.
something which is more physical, I guess, but it's
I was
also
gonna
not
say that.
surgery.
But look,
It's not
right? Like
surgery,
it's
yeah.
not like heart
It's like a
transplant.
broken bone, you said
Look, we
somebody
even
broke
have
their
people. There's like the sheriff, like we call them sheriff. Like we have people for that. Like the sheriff people, they known for that.
Another
say-
healer
There's a story where like
form
the
of
ancestors
healer.
like pass those like surahs, like I don't know, like the verses down
Yeah.
to them. Where if you broke your leg, I've seen this. Like I've like twisted my ankle a lot of time.
Yeah.
You go to them, they have like a special setulu. Like,
Alice Moro.
Yeah, they
massage
they
it.
put on it. Some of them even like if you twist it like your right ankle, they will massage your left ankle. And you can still feel it in your right ankle. And I've seen people I've seen people recover from this. And then they even said that like it's like if people mistake like they thing they use like this, like if people mistakenly like put it on their body, it will break your. If you put it on your leg,
see,
it will break.
Aisha, you see my issue? No, you see my issue. So the medicine is to repair your leg, but if you put the medicine on your leg, you might break your leg. Now look,
if you're not harmed, or if you're not from one of them.
Okay, so that's like saying if I put the gun. Never mind. Anyway, but look, this is the crazy part, right? The thing he talking about, I know about that. Like usually like in the city in Conakry, like old ladies like from the village used to do it, right? Like if you like either like sprain your ankle or break your legs or whatever. The one I've seen, it even happened to me. Like, but I didn't break my ankle. It was my arm. We went to like this little college event. Yeah. I was young, and we were trying to jump the wall to go into the event, and the security guard was chasing us, and I fell down. So like my whole arm here, it wasn't broken, but
twisted it.
Yeah, like it was hurting me. It was spraying or what. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't like use my hands. So when I went back home, and then like one of the old ladies from the village, they was like, "Oh, come here, we know how to heal it or whatever, right?" So they go get the Setulu shea butter. Is it shea butter, right?
Yeah.
Setulu. And then, she'll, rub it, like, she'll wash her hands, and then she'll put the shea butter on both hands, and then she'll read something. I don't know what it is. And this is the crazy part.
It's like probably a surah from, like,
she was saying, like, then she would spit in both hands.
No
way. Do this. And then grab your leg, and then, bro, it hurt, right? And then somebody, look, guys will grab your legs.
Get close.
Right? Guys will grab your legs, right? And then, grab your shoulder, and then somebody might grab this, right? And then she will start massaging it, but start pulling it hard. So you feel the pain.
But did you feel better, though?
No. That's the point. I swear to God. Look,
come on,
look,
bro.
Let me tell you, I swear to God, why would I lie?
Experience, though.
Listen, why would I lie? I swear to God. Bro, I'm going to tell you what happened after that. We went to the hospital. My mom took me to the hospital after that, right? Doing this, right? Spitting on her hands and trying to talk about massaging, right? When they're pulling it, that pain, bro, it's so bad because you're already in pain. They're pulling your arm that's in pain already, doing this. Talk about they healing it.
You know why
I know
you didn't feel better?
Old lady.
You know why I know you didn't feel better? Because she probably wanted a Sharif.
So you see what I'm saying?
She wasn't from the
She from the village though.
Yeah, she wasn't a Sharif. She don't have the surah. They don't just tell it to nobody, bro.
So
if somebody, they'll tell it to one person.
It's passed down through their generations, through their ancestors.
Yeah, they don't tell the surah.
I just wonder, but all of those old ladies had like knee pain, ankle pain. How come they?
That's from all ages. That's not.
My friend. You can't pick and choose.
There's couple times like after coco sabale like basite mena fatoya komoya, right?
So he said there's three things. Okay, he said there's three things. You want to translate? There's three things.
There's no like medication for it.
Like
can't be healed.
If you're mentally
can't be treated.
Like
craziness, right? How do you say komoya?
And then if you're
craziness too.
If you're developmental delay,
delay, like if you
developmental who?
Yeah,
developmental.
And then if you're
and then saya
and then death.
Okay,
like basically what he's saying is like those the specific healers from that group of people or no one can't heal when it's like one of those three things.
So again, right? We both had like similar experience, but different outcomes. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's hard for me to say that. Oh, I believe in that or this, whatever. Because at the end of the day, when shit really hit the fan, majority of us go to the hospital. At the end of the day,
I think that's the city.
What would you? Right. Okay, what would you do right now? Right, if you were living in the village, something happened, crazy happened. Somebody fall sick. Right, like somebody close to you. Right, are you gonna go call a spiritual healer?
But you can't say that because I came to America. Like,
it's hard to see.
Yes,
but even in Africa,
I would tell you, like, bro, the friends that I have still back home, I promise you, I will tell you right now, like, a good percentage of them will go to a spiritual.
No, for sure, for sure. But if they can go to like Donka or ESD, those hospitals, they'll go there first.
Yeah, they would.
I'll give you a story.
There you go.
My mom was sick, right? At one point, she was really, really sick.
Shout out to Tanti.
Yeah. Anyways, she was really, really sick, right? And like, it's just like, they couldn't figure out what she ate.
Yeah.
That had her
back home
in Guinea.
Okay.
Right? And this is a woman, she don't get sick. She don't sit down. She's, I don't know, something wrong with her. She be on the move all the time. Right? Love her to death.
She like to fight.
But she was like super, super sick. Right? And she couldn't keep no food down.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, so they were saying somebody did something to her, type of thing. Took her to a spiritual healer. Nothing. They did everything.
And y'all paid a spiritual healer?
Let me finish. They gave her all the buses and stuff like that because they said themselves that somebody in our family. They're the ones who said somebody in our family did something. Not our family, but another side of our family did something to her, and that's why she can't keep food down. She's like so sick. Yo, I think my mom was like 140. By the time we sent her to the U.S., she was like 110.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
She's like 110.
Wait, did she ever go to the hospitals there too?
She went. They didn't know what it was.
Even at the hospital in
the Guinea. So mind you, hospital didn't work. She went to the hospital first. So then did the spiritual healing, right? Spiritual healers didn't work. They gave her all types of things to drink. Didn't work. And they told her like Sarakabo, do all this stuff. Didn't work. Yeah. So then finally we were just like, yo, like just like
come to the US.
They didn't want to tell us, but like my aunt ended up finding out because one of our cousins went home. Yeah. So my aunt called me, was like, yo, y'all need to bring y'all mom to the city. Like, she's not doing well. Yeah. Brought her to the U.S., took her to Yale, because, we grew up in Connecticut. Took her to Yale. And, like, they had to, like, flush her stomach of all the things they put in there, first of all. And within, like, a few weeks, she was doing better. She started, like, eating.
What did they say it was?
I don't even remember what they said it was. Maybe like some sort of poisoning. But they were saying it's some type of virus that she had in her stomach.
Okay.
Right? But it's
which
just
can happen because like food and like things over there, water and things like that.
But it took so long because like she went through all those processes first. Yeah. Before we actually like got her here type of thing.
And then they fixed it.
Because my aunt was like, your mom is going to like, you're going to lose your mom. I stuff like, you're going to lose your mom if y'all don't bring her to the city. Yeah. Y'all don't bring her to the U.S.
To the U.S.
So like, it's just like, bro, we really, when I saw my mom, we were crying because it's like, yo, who is this? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's like, who is, but it's just like, for y'all to go through that entire process first.
Yeah. How long did it take?
We weren't. Like my mom was going through it for like months before we found out.
What?
Yeah.
She didn't tell you guys?
She didn't tell us. My mom is very like one of those people. She don't like us to panic.
Putting burden on
You get what I'm saying? She does not like her kids to panic. She wants us to be in a space where like we're at peace and we think everything is good. So what happened is like in the beginning, she would just feel sick. To her stomach, and then it went from sick to her stomach to I can't keep my food down at all.
Yeah, and you have to like get
it. What was the outcome?
The outcome, she got better. She got so much better.
What's their medicine?
They gave her a medicine. I don't remember what it was. This was like years ago. They gave her whatever medicine she needed. She's fine. She's doing well. She's healthy. Thank God. Alhamdulillah. But it's just like, I say that because I feel like we depend so much. Us in Guinea, not here, but us in Guinea, we depend so much on things that are not proven sometimes, and it can I still feel like it can kill our family members.
But it does though, like
But look, I got two things to say to that, right? Yeah. Like what Aisha just said, like maybe the people that was around Aisha mom don't really know because man, like mind you, like in the beginning I said that like they are like certain sickness where they would take people to spiritual healer. There's also a certain sickness, like for example, sabiking. Like when you get bitten by a snake they will automatically take you to the spiritual healer. Or if you like a zombie bone, like if a scorpion like stung you or stuff like that. But like stomachache or
headaches
stuff like that, they will directly take you to the hospital. Like they will take you to the hospital. But also there's one thing, this thing I gotta say about that. A lot of people in Guinea, like specifically in Guinea, a lot of people die at the hospital for like wrong diagnosis. For example, like there's people like they will have a heart attack. When you go to Guinea at the hospital, the first thing they do, they hook you to IVs.
For sure.
That's the first thing they do.
Everything. And it don't even matter
and
what
that's
it is.
crazy. A lot of people die like that because people can be having like high blood pressure. Like, IV make you cold. Like, like it's like, putting water into your body.
You're putting that
you know what I'm saying? So like, it could go both ways. People die there, people die here. You know what I'm saying?
So the hospitals themselves are, we need to have like stronger hospitals there.
For sure. But in general, spiritual healers, the hospitals, they're both like not good, right?
Yeah,
they're not up to par, right? But at the end of the day, it's certain things that you can go to the hospital and get treated for. Where in the village, I don't know, because you're saying that if you get bit by a snake or some type of insect, they can heal that. But internally, like maybe you say for stomach, so you're saying they can, but if a snake bites you, like the venom or whatever goes inside. So how are they able to treat that internally, but they can't treat a stomach ache?
They could, like, I'm saying that, like, if that happened, they will take you to the hospital. Then if it don't work, they could. They have like they have stuff that they can give you, like you would throw up stuff that's like clean up your. They have natural herb that can make like your stomach clean. Like
no, for sure. I believe that. I believe that.
But I'm saying that like a lot those stuff is like if a snake bites you, they have stuff they put on it, like you even see, because if snake bites you, they will leave their teeth.
Yeah, I mean, like that's true. Like I know there's herbs that you can use to treat people or whatever, right? But you're not about to just like give somebody mango leaves, talking about this is herb that's about to treat you. Like, come on, man. Like,
but I think it also depends, because the thing is, even now with holistic medicine here in the U.S., people are realizing that like how powerful holistic medicine is. Like how like some
natural
of these natural remedies, like some of these like lab created medicines, like. Yeah, it can fix one thing, but then you can have a significant like side effect that will like will be super detrimental. Whereas like there are so many different things in greens and plants in like certain types of plants that like are really, really, really like impact our bodies in a very positive way.
Like for example, the McMill story, like you know what I'm talking about, the McMill story. Like he was going through this like for a long time. Like he went through like a lot of doctors. It couldn't.
You said Meek Mill?
Yeah. Okay. And he went to Africa. They give him a natural herb. Like the thing went away.
Yeah.
Like literally.
And I say this. I'm not pro medication. Honestly, I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm not pro medication.
You know,
I don't even like taking medication myself. But
I don't.
If that's the only way your life is gonna get better, that's what you're gonna have to do to heal. I recommend it. That's what I say. I'm not pro medication. I'm not for big farm. I don't care about none of that stuff. Meds, if it can be natural, like I'm all for it. But like, if this is the only way you're gonna survive, you gotta do what you gotta do.
The only reason I took the COVID vaccine because of the job, bro. Like I wanted to take it, but I don't like taking medication.
Yeah, me, I don't like taking medication either. Like I always say, that's why like I always me and him always talk about like we gotta change what we like, you know, how we eat. Things like that, because most of the things that you put in your body is what affects like brings sickness or whatever. So a lot of time is that. But yeah, I mean that. You know, that alone, you know, we all, you know, mental illness, you know, you got your own perspective on, you know, it's mental illness and also jinn or spiritual.
Yeah, the spiritual aspect of things.
Aspect of things, right?
And I love like the diversity in understanding. And like the fact that we are all multicultural, so we've all heard certain stories that are like very cultural or religious, but then here, you know, in the US, like we've learned about different things, you know, through school or like through other forms of like education that have taught us otherwise. But it's not even just our culture, right? I think like even like in the Latino community, right? Even in the Haitian community, even in like a lot Indian community, Indians. Like even I don't know about the Asian community.
Asians do it
like
Chinese and
not
big on
obviously Indians are in Asia, but like I'm talking more about like, you know, like Chinese, Japanese, exactly.
Yeah, they are.
They are very
into
even the acupuncture.
Acupuncture, you're right.
Yeah.
Meditation.
You know, like,
they also do medicine like with herbs too.
They're big on herbs and energy.
Like they nature, like they big on the nature, like healing naturally.
It's just fascinating to me though that like I feel like the majority, like outside of like the Western world, like the majority of people, cultures have like some of these stories and some of these things that we're talking about that we've learned about in our country. It's not like it's solely isolated to our country. You talk to anyone, whether it's from Haiti, Jamaica, South America, you know, etc. Like all these, exactly, India, whatever. They all have like certain cultural things.
You even have ancient stories. Like some of them cannot be explained. You know what I mean?
A lot of things right now.
Ancient Greek, like even like ancient China, like during their time they use
like Mayans,
like the pyramids, like
like they use medicines, like they use herbs and acupuncture, like she said, and different things like that. And they're big on energy, how to direct your energy, and also what you put in your system. It's all like combined. But that was good. But now
was great.
I want to touch on something else, which is kind of like related to what we're talking about.
Okay.
So this one. Again, I want to talk about the transition, like leaving Guinea and coming here. Like based on your energy and your frequency, did something change? One and two, and I also want to talk about therapy back home. Like what you think about that? Do you think it's therapy back home in Guinea? Do you think it's gonna be more helpful, or do you think it's gonna bring chaos? So we can start with Mo first, and then we can kind of get into it. So like, leaving, getting, and coming to America, like, what was your first like experience? Like, what did you go through mentally, physically, your energy? Like, did you want it to like go back right away, or after you got used to it, you're like, okay, like I can do this. This is actually better than back home.
Yeah, like the first thing, like I remember when we came, like, like you have to relearn the language and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
when I in middle school, like I told you these stories before. Like I would go to like the lunchroom, like I would sit by myself, like I have no friends, and I'm like, bro, like I would look at, I was like, bro, I can't believe my mom, like, you know what I'm saying, like, bro, that's here, but like at that point, I didn't fully like,
Understand.
this is like, bro, in America, you can become whatever you want to become, you know what I'm saying? While in Africa, it's like the choices are limited, like, you know what I'm saying, like. So in the beginning, yeah, I felt like that, but then as I started like slowly, like, in school, I remember like when I started playing soccer, that's when like everything started coming back. Then I started making friends. But like in terms of like the therapies part, I swear I'll tell you, like, I kid you not, bro. Like when I first started playing the academy, right, they had like therapists, like people that you could go talk to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, like, what is that? This white woman, I can talk to her, she can make me feel better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I thought it was a joke. Like I'm telling you, I'm like, bro, like, talking to people, I would ask them, I'm like, talking to people make you feel better? Yeah. And they was like, yeah, like me, I'm like, when I'm going through stuff, I talk to God, I go pray. Yeah. It's like, so I never understand it, because like I told you, like, all the time, there's a lot of stuff that like I was exposed to here that if I didn't come to America, like I tell you all the time, like my friends back home, they I promise you, they would tell you I'm lying. If I tell you certain stuff like here, that the way it goes, no, like I didn't know what therapy was. Like I didn't know.
I didn't know either. I agree.
Yeah, I didn't know what therapy was either.
So one thing, right, I want to like bring up too, like, so when you first came to the state, right, like the first month, like, did you like wanted to go back?
I hated it.
Okay.
I hated it, bro. The weather, like, and being in the house, bro, in Kankan, bro, we outside 24/7, like being in the house the whole time. I hated it, bro.
And did you feel like when you started going to school, did you feel like an outcast? Did you feel like you were not welcome?
I feel alone, bro. I remember like when I started learning English, then I could tell, bro, they were talking about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so, bro, in the beginning, and then, like, I met so many, like, great people. There was a white woman, like, she was, like, my legal guardian. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like, I used to ask my mom all the time. I would come home. I'm like, why all these white folks trying to do, like, stuff? I used to think they want to take advantage of me.
No black people helped you? Golly.
Bro, I could count, like, black, bro. Like, there was a black lady, one of my, like, mentor, like, knew her, but, like, most, it was white. Me, I didn't know. Like, you have to pay money to play soccer in America until I got to college. Yeah. Bro, and we would travel. Like, I was on a travel team. We would go to, like, places. Yeah. And these guys, I'm telling you, they the reason why, like, I'm here. I mean, my mom's, like, the reason why I came to this country. But white folks.
And I feel like that story would be a great story to tell. But another one. Yeah. So, after you started going to school or whatever, like, did you start building anxiety in America? Yeah. Like...
Yeah.
And stress?
Yeah. Fact, bro. I swear to God. Go
bro.
First. I got my I swear to God, bro.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Were you stressed before America or after?
After. When I came to America, that's when in Africa.
Or maybe because you were young, too.
It doesn't matter. No. So, like, Africa is free. Yeah. Like, when I started going to school, like, I started, like, bro, my mind was everywhere, bro. Like, I'm like, bro, this
always anxious.
Bro, I was always, like, thinking about, like, damn, like, where I'm gonna be at. In Africa, I knew, like, I had my plan. I knew, grow up, like, go to school, get a job, marry me, 2 to 3 wives,
and then
hasta life.
Kani?
Kani,
that was before.
That was
before he got unveiled. Right?
Kani before he got unveiled. Now he's unveiled.
Kani unveiled, now unveiled.
Kani
like, I had a plan, but then coming here, it's like living day by day. It's like I started, like, developing this anxiety.
Stress and anxiety.
I'm telling you, bro.
That's a fact. That's why we got Aicha here today, because I'm gonna tell mine how it happened. Like, just like yours. Like, when I first came, the weather, I didn't speak the language. Back home, we're always outside, right? Yeah. Here, you're like, stuck. You're in the house all the time, and when you go outside, you don't see nobody. Just the white snow in Michigan, right? And then, like, I was always home. I used to lay down and just, like, look at the ceiling for hours, like, nothing to do, bored, trying to find stuff to do or whatever. And then I started building, like, anxiety. Like, I started having, like, anxiety, and I was always anxious. I didn't know why. Yeah. Because I was, like, I'm always by myself. It's like being in jail, right? and then like out of nowhere, like it'll be like hot. No, it'll be cold, right?
I'll be hot.
But I'll be hot.
Yep.
Exactly. Like, I don't know I'm like, what the hell? And this the first time it happened to me, I remember vividly, right? It was Maplewood. We stayed on the upstairs of the upstairs building or whatever, at the top of the building, not at the top, the upstairs. You know. So I remember I was just sitting down on the laptop. I don't know what I was watching, and then I kept getting hot. I'm like, why am I hot? So I went and tried to turn the heat down. The heat was already like the heat was not on.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? So like I'm like, all right. So I put the heat on or whatever. No, I took the heat off, right? Cause I thought I was hot, right? Cause I was getting hot and it was cold. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like my body just kept getting like hot for no reason. And it would go away and it would come back again. It would go away. I'm like, what the hell is this? I don't know if I was stressed. I don't know if I was nervous. I don't know if I unhappy. I don't know what it was. But that is still with me today. It's not as bad, but it's still with me today. That is crazy. Yeah, so
that's a fact.
To Madame Cisse, so what do you say? Like what do you think about that? Like,
so when I think about it, cause like let's say me, I've been here since I was 4, right?
Yeah.
Grew up here, went to school here. For me, I would say my transition was much easier than the both of y'all, because we were, it's not even because I grew up, because they were still trying to come at me because I was African. Back then, you was African, you wasn't it type of thing. But
I'm still not it.
She is it.
I'm joking.
Okay. But you know, like the thing my parents did was they made sure like all the girls were in one school together and you're not separated. And then they made sure all the boys was in one school, you're not separated. That's like one of the best things. I cannot tell you, like, that made such a difference for us, because it's like we didn't have to sit alone. We were all there.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You can't fight any of us because we all here. And the thing about my family, we will fight you. Growing up, we were not the kids that you want to come and call us African booty scratchers. You're not going home. Right? And I don't condone violence, but you're not going home that day. Yeah. Because we gonna show you the booty scratchers, right?
To fight.
But it's like, I think for us, like for me, because I had anxiety for a long period of time, and I didn't realize it until I had a panic attack one time, right? And like I literally felt like I couldn't breathe. This was like in the U.S.
Oh, wow. How long ago was this?
I was like, the first time I had a panic attack, I was 18, and it was like that idea of like, bro, I gotta go to college. My parents want me to do this. Stress. I'm not sure if I can do this.
Bro, this country
right?
is stress, bro.
And then like being the only girl, and then there's a religious part of it too that you got to deal with. That identity crisis that you having, because you got to deal with whether you African or you American, and you got to find a medium.
So you're battling.
So it's like it's mad pressure. You got to deal with all of this stuff at once. So I like one day before graduation, I had a panic attack. Before graduation, high school graduation, had an entire panic attack. I was crying. I felt like and I was by myself. Right? And the thing about my brothers, they're very supportive. If I would have told them, they would have been there. But being me, like at that time, I just was like, I got it. Like, I'm going to figure this out. I don't even know what's wrong with me, but I'm going to figure out. During that time, like I was very like deep into psychology, but I wasn't really into like knowing diagnosis and what panic attacks and this looks like. That came later on in college. Right? For me, like, that anxiety came from everything around me, but not just what I wanted, what my family wanted too, and what my family dynamic looks like. And that expectation of, this is, your dad was an ambassador, right? Your mom was in the court system in Africa, right? And you hear your brother's in the military, the other one is doing great, the other one is doing great. Where are you going to be? Right? And your parents want you to be a nurse. I don't want to be a nurse. I went to nursing school, y'all. And I graduated. Nurse. And when I tell you, I hated every part of it, every single part of it.
How long was nursing school?
2 years. I went for an LPN, right? And when I tell you, I hated every part of it. I hated it. The clinicals, everything. And the moment I see, you know me, like I got a weak stomach. I saw maggots come out of somebody's wounds. That was it. That was it for me. That was it. Man, I saw maggots come out of somebody's wound, and it smelled so bad because it was infected. Ew. And you know what maggots do? When you see maggots, that means they're trying to clean your wound. That's how infected it is.
I thought that was in Africa, right here.
No, here.
Hey. So, madam, what is NPL?
LPN is licensed practitioner nurse.
Oh, LPL. So I thought you said NPL. I thought you said nigga, please.
So it comes before RN, right? But for me, all of that was just like, dang, like, y'all got me in this, like, and it's not even y'all got me, but it's the fact that, like, I was so scared to just, like, do my own thing and how my family would react to that. Right.
And that's crazy. You're every single day for 2 years, you're going to school to something that you know you don't want to do. And then you see all these different things that you're like, yo, even if I was working this, it's not even that I don't want to do it, but like, I'm sick. I'm afraid this is like, I don't want to even touch this. Like, imagine being forced to like heal someone with Mac. Goodbye. That's the first day. That's the first day that someone will ever fire me.
And I love to heal people, but not in that way. Like, I want to help you.
I could have never been a doctor.
I want to be with you through your transition of life, right? Let me. I would like. I tell all my friends, like, I'm always there. Like, I'm not gonna judge you. You going through whatever you're going through. Yeah. Like, if you talk to me, I promise you, if you just want to sit there, I'm gonna just sit there with you, right? I talk a lot of junk. I joke a lot. Right, and that's just me and my humor, right, and that's just me trying to make sense of life in general, right. But and a lot of it, it's not to be saying that I'm gonna judge you, because like those people that actually really know me, they genuinely know like I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna always show up. I don't care if I gotta drive hours. I'm showing up.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You know,
right?
I just hope we all can, like, you know, the whole point of this is to be unveiled, right? And I just hope we all can keep our feet above ground. Because if you look at Aicha's position, her feet is above ground.
Never gonna get that, but it's cool, let's sit back, chit chat, unveiled mindset.